welcome to the Final Assessment, a podcast about evil. I'm Jean.
I'm Victoria.
Today we're starting on Season 2, Episode 1, and it's for Night Terrors. We got our pop-up book.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yes, the pop-up book of terrifying things.
It's really cute.
I love it.
We see that in the beginning of the episode. It's not like the intro that comes in the middle of the episode.
Yeah, it's like you get the pop-up book and then a half hour later you get the opening credits. We got Mira breaking the LaRue news to Kristen. We kind of go back till the end of last season and start with the last 5 minutes of the last season.
Yeah, he is dead.
He's dead. We get a little bit more information about it as the season goes on. We get a little more information than we had.
They think his wife did it.
Well, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense. After she gets off the phone with Mira, she's going to bury the climbing axe that she used to kill LaRue with. It's bloody.
Yes, it's bloody.
And
hidden in the back of her trunk.
In the back of her trunk. She's gonna bury it, and she's in the backyard burying it. And she looks up, and one of the girls is looking out the window.
Yep.
Or appears to be looking out the window.
Yeah, it looks like one of them.
Looks like it. So she goes in there, and all the girls, of course, they're all waking up. And they're like, why are your hands dirty? Why?
Mommy, what's wrong? Can we help?
And she's like, my hands aren't dirty. She's doing that again. Like what she did with the blood. Like, there's no blood on my leg. My hands are dirty. So I guess she rethinks it. All of these plans are terrible. Burying it was a terrible idea.
Yes.
So it's good that she's not doing that.
Yeah.
But now she's bleaching it and cleaning it, and she's hanging it back up. I'm like, that's also a terrible idea.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess it's better than, well, where'd your climbing axe go?
I mean, but who would know that the climbing axe was missing except for Andy? Right?
Well, Mira might, because Mira knows she's a climber, but it's not like she knows where she keeps her gear. So,
yeah,
I think Andy would probably be the only one that would notice it's gone.
I don't know.
And it's not like Andy is there enough to tell anyway.
I mean, yeah, he's Andy. You know, Andy gonna Andy.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even need Andy.
But speaking of Andy, she does in this moment choose to call David.
Well, because Andy didn't pick up.
Right.
But David's running.
Yes, David is running. He's running his ass off. Right. In his little notebook, he's been sketching out this dream that he's been having of the big goat demon thing coming at Kristen in the wheat field. Okay. We find out later in the episode he's engaging in some creative wound care for the stab wound.
Yeah.
Don't know what's going on at first. Like, he's doing this intense run, comes back into his room. We see the sketches. He does this weird thing to his injury, and then he just kind of falls out, and he's back in the cornfield.
Yes. This one's a great one.
Yeah, because there's you can hear sirens in the background.
And then Kristen, you can see her walking towards the goat demon, and then all of a sudden
there's Leland dancing cornfield to Funky Town.
It's the funniest thing ever.
It is so funny. It's so random and hilarious. It's like...
Yeah, it's like just out of nowhere, and it starts playing, and he's dancing, and it's just like, it's so funny.
It is.
It really is.
It's great. Mr. Ben is putting it all together because he's watching a news broadcast where they're announcing the murder of Orson LaRue, and he's like, I wonder if this has anything to do with the blood that was not on Kristen's leg.
Yeah, he's got a really weird look on his face for this.
Yeah. David's going to bring this theory they have about the slaughter of the innocents with the RSM fertility clinic stuff to Monsignor. They clarify the exact thought process here, that a demonic presence is trying to corrupt a generation by manipulating the eggs. Well, it's not going to corrupt an entire generation. It's going to corrupt a few thousand people, which is definitely enough to do plenty of damage, but still. Right? They've purged all their records. There's nothing to find. Right? And
they're trying to find the children and the parents.
They're trying to, yeah. But in the meantime, they have a new assignment.
Somebody thinks they're bad and needs an exorcism. Anybody want to take a guess?
Well,
stab at this?
You want to take a stab at this? Well, if they want an exorcism for voluntary submission to the devil, who could that be?
Yeah, he needs to be cured.
It's Leland, right?
He says he needs the exorcism because he's getting married and he wants to start the marriage clean.
I mean, it's okay. It's a ruse to fuck with everybody. It's a comedy of errors almost. But Kristen, though, in the meantime, so Ben is about to say something to Kristen about this LaRue thing. And she's like, okay, wait, in a minute. First, can you do an analysis on this rosary that burned me last night?
Yeah, she has got a burn on her hand with a cross from the rosary.
Yeah, I think it's interesting with this rosary because, we're supposed to believe, the implication being, and we get evidence to bear this out later. We got that whole lecture last season about there has to be an invitation. So the murder is the thing that invited the demonic presence into her life. But she's still seeking out the rosary, right?
Yes.
Like, what made her go to that?
I don't know. It's like she opened her drawer and it was there and she just picked it up.
Okay,
so
but okay, she didn't just open her drawer. She knew it was there. She went to it for a reason.
Maybe as peace of mind.
I don't know. We're still getting the back and forth with her about she's obviously has a past with the church. It's coming back to haunt her now.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
But this whole Leland thing, right? It's funny to me. He's like, Kristen, David, and he just looks at Ben.
Yeah. It's like, how do you not know Ben?
Kristen, you can't trust a word that comes out of this fucker's mouth, which is great. There's a couple motives going on here that they put together. Everybody's kind of got a motive. But Kristen calls out the motive, the cardinal. Leland is apparently friends with the cardinal.
Yeah.
Or I guess he's ingratiated himself by donations or somehow.
Yeah, he's given a bunch of money. I bet he has.
Yeah.
Y'all better look at that. It might be blood money.
Well, and what David's point is that he's trying to do this by ingratiating himself with the cardinal and now getting his claws into the assessment program. He's basically trying to co-opt the church and the church's mission. The way that this RSM place has kind of co-opted the fertility industry,
Yeah.
So Ben and Kristen and David, they sit down with him. And I do like this, though. Leland says something I like. Again, you're getting a lot of layers on this because you give up at some point saying, what are we supposed to be understanding? This text versus subtext versus a metaphor? It doesn't matter. It's just all there. It's all kind of there. Because Leland, who is his psychiatrist, is a demon. He says that the exorcism is the church's attempt to divorce mankind from his darker nature. It's a metaphor, right? He's not like saying exorcism is literally removing a demon from a human. He's putting this in kind of psychological terms. This is a ritual, a process that the church engages in to cause this kind of psychic split in the person, to get them away from these impulses or whatever,
Yes.
And then he goes right from that, which seems like a kind of elevated academic understanding of the function of exorcism. And he goes into explaining why selling your soul is like the thing to do. You should definitely do it because you give your soul to God. You got to wait till you die. And then you're not sure what you're going to get. But, with the devil, you get it all right away, right?
Yeah.
So Kristen is enjoying this because she gets to tell everybody about what a loser he was when he was in the marching band at Roosevelt High. And apparently the bus driver there made fun of him so badly that Leland, this I guess was supposedly his first taste of the darkness. He conjures up the devil while his parents were washing MASH in the next room, which is very specific callback. And he sold his soul to kill the bus driver, to have him have a horrible death. And he basically, because David says, well, what's the devil look like?
Yeah.
And he gives the standard, he describes the thing that David sees in his vision, which is like a pretty standard representation of the devil. You have a few ways you could have gone. He went with one of the pretty standard ways. He's not like, the devil just looks like Al Pacino.
Or the devil is a beautiful woman.
Yeah. He's like, no, he's a big goat thing. You know what's funny? A couple people have already noted in the episode that Kristen looks different. And so she goes to see Kurt, and he's like, you look different. It's funny because they're not just having everybody say that. She actually looks different. I don't know if it's the way they're lighting her, or the way they've done her makeup.
Yeah.
But it's definitely on purpose.
It's something, because there is a change on her.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like, because you kind of know what's going on, you would say it's an impish glow. But she's kind of got this little mischievous spark in her eyes. But that's just because you know what's going on.
Yeah.
If you didn't know and you saw her, you'd be like, did she just get laid? What's going? She looks like she's beaming, you know.
Yeah.
So she confesses to killing well, she eventually explains it's LaRue, but she confesses this to Kurt. And there's more planning in this. This wasn't just like, he's going to kill my kids, we're going to go kill him. She make sure his wife had an alibi. And
yeah, Kurt is stunned. He's like, I am stunned by this.
I am stunned. I would also be stunned if a patient was like, yeah, I killed somebody. She's trying to figure out, she's got Ben analyzing the rosary, but she's like, well, maybe it's psychosomatic. Maybe it's the guilt is manifesting or whatever.
It's like your PST brought out the rash burn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so he gives her a prescription, which is fun. In the previous season, they had this whole thing about psychiatric medicine giving the medication to the person that had gotten the exorcism. Mm-hmm. And like, I mean, they weren't saying that medication for things like that is always the wrong thing, but it was funny because Kurt was the crucial witness, and his immediate response to all this was, here.
Oh, hey. Let me get you medicated.
Yeah. So she gets home. There's blood on the floor. There's a bloody handprint on the wall. You're like, oh, what's going to happen here? It turns out that Lexus is getting vampire teeth. Of course she is. And Ben comes by, and he has found that the crucifix on the rosary was made of cobalt, which he's been kind of treading here, trying to find something, because he's like, well, it was in the drawer. It doesn't take much of a temperature change. It could burn you. It was in the drawer near the curling iron. Like, you don't know any woman. She did not put that curling iron back in that drawer when it was even vaguely hot. I promise you.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going back with Leland. They were able to confirm that the bus driver, Leland's bus driver that made fun of him, died in a terrible fiery crash. And they go back and talk with Leland, and he's being a smart ass about the bus driver, right? He's like, well, he had a promising career, you know, as a bus driver and all this stuff. It's just a lot of back and forth, just him just needling them, you know. He's really needling Ben because Ben is being very adamant, like, I don't believe in God or the devil.
Yeah, when they go in to talk to him, he looks at Ben and he's like, what are you?
What are you?
And Ben's like, I'm the comic relief.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's almost like he doesn't like Ben.
I thought about that. I don't know if it's I don't think he doesn't like any of them. I think maybe he sees Ben as probably the hardest to get to because he does not believe anything. Like, Kristen pretends she doesn't believe anything, but she does.
Yeah.
Ben literally does not believe in anything.
So he's going to be the hardest one to get to, so why bother?
Right. Now, we do see throughout the series, we see different moments of Ben getting shook, you know.
Yes.
Whereas Kristen kind of falls back on, like, when she goes to the rosary, when she feels like something was wrong. Mm-hmm. Even though she won't acknowledge it, she falls back on the last bits of her Catholicism.
Yes.
Ben falls back on his skepticism. You know,
Yeah.
his trying to find a reason that this is not ghosts or demons or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, Kristen is there. She's got more information from Leland's ex-wife. Found out Leland never actually rode the bus.
He had a car at this time and drove.
Right. And he's like, well, of course I lied. I'm possessed.
Oh, my God. Like, really?
Yeah, he's just messing with. Apparently, he's got a tattoo on the back of his ear. It's counting down.
Counting down the months until his death.
I mean, like, he's just coming up with stuff. He's just, like, throwing shit at the wall just to see what happens with all of it. Kristen's giving him this look here. I mean, I love this look. She's doing it throughout these episodes. She's just looking at people like she is reading into their souls, isn't it? And just, like, secretly laughing on the inside, you know?
Yeah.
At everybody.
And she's so funny because he's like, it's counting down, you know, it was so painful when he put it on me. And she's like, how frightening it must have been for you. I mean, and just like that, with that kind of a voice and everything, how frightening it must have been. And I was just like, oh.
I mean, it's fun, though, because he's engaging in this kind of needling and mockery of them and the church and everything else. But she's just kind of giving it back to him. Mm-hmm. And he just doesn't know how to take it. He's just like, okay.
Yeah. And then when David's like, we're going to have to examine your house, he's like, no. And David's like, that's the only way for you to get an exorcism is if you let us investigate.
Yep. Yep, we got to examine your house for signs of demonic infestation. He's like, it's either that or we drop the case. Yep.
So Leland gives in.
So Leland, he's going to get to Ben one way or the other. He sends a succubus to Ben.
And he tells Ben, you're going to have a dream tonight.
Yeah.
And Ben's like, oh, well, what did he say? That's original.
Yeah, a dream at night? What?
No.
That's wild.
Yes, but he sends this succubus to Ben, and Ben opens his eyes, and you see something in the corner of the room move, and then you see it walking towards his bed, and then you see the sheets starting to come off, and then you see her...
It's female George, basically.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And she climbs on the bed, and he's just like... maybe he's like a little frightened, but he's also like, this is a dream.
Yeah. For a minute, he's like, this is a dream. And then she starts going down on him, and I think it like, I'm not supposed to like this. It registers, and he starts screaming, and then he wakes up.
Yeah.
It was a really delayed reaction.
Yes, it was.
It was funny. But, meanwhile, okay, so Alexis is getting her vampire teeth looked at. And at first, they're like, oh, they're going to need some kind of surgery because they're in really deep. And this is where we learn that Kristen started climbing because the child, she had webbed feet. Leland's apartment, they go to look through his place. Yeah, he's just fucking with them. The upside down crosses and no mirrors. And Kristen has a little moment because she sees some of Cheryl's clothes in his closet.
And Ben breaks into Leland's computer and sets it up so they can watch him through the computer.
Yeah. But in the meantime, he's got this little wardrobe or whatever, and they open the bottom door. And this fucking, is it a mouse or something?
It looks kind of like some sort of bear, and it just pops up, and it's like, Feliz Navidad!
Yeah, oh
really
my God.
loud.
It's so hilarious. It's
annoying.
Yeah. But so Ben's starting to do this thing where he's got this microphone and his earphones on, and he's going around trying to find any weird noises. Because he said they couldn't hear, because, got truffles and everything, otherwise you can hear the current and stuff. So he's off everything. He couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, there's no sound.
There should be some kind of ambient noise, like there's always something. But he hears something like a scratchy noise, right? And he's looking for it. And he finds the direction it's coming from, and then the Feliz Navidad thing gets him. And they realize, like, why would you have this in here? Well, because you want to know somebody's getting there, so they figure...
Alarm.
Alarm.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yep. And they figure out there's this little panel, and it's got the sigil map that Cheryl had copied from Kristen for Leland. Kristen knows right away what happened.
Yes.
So they decide they're going to put it back, just because they don't want him to know that they found it. There's this cross hanging over a doorway. It falls on Kristen, and it pops open, and there's this little secret compartment that contains a tattoo kit. So,
we know how the number on his ear came to be now.
Yes. So when they go back to the Monsignor with everything, and they're like, yeah, no, he's not possessed. He's a psychopath. And the Monsignor's like, well, then prove to me that he's a psychopath. Like, then give me something besides your strong feeling that he's a psychopath. So she starts giving him the test that she gave Orson LaRue. And he's answering the questions. He knows the test by heart. And she's like, just how crazy are you? Like,
yeah, that was great.
Yeah. And he's playing with her, David, and he's got 2 more months till he gets ordained. That's a lot of fucking you could be doing between them.
And he asked Kristen, help me keep David away from the priesthood.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, she's not going to, I mean, she could fuck David all day, but she's not going to help you.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a bridge you burned there, buddy.
Yeah.
So I love this scene. Kristen is at the dentist's office. Alexis is getting ready to go under for her surgery.
Yeah.
She's on the phone with David. And Ben's watching Leland. And Kristen and David are talking about he's just a psychopath. Next thing you know, so the dentist Lexi's out. She's out. She is under. The dentist puts her fingers in her mouth and Lexi bites him in half, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't bite him off, but
like one of the fingers that she bit is like sticking straight up.
Which has got to suck for a dentist, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you can't work now, man. And so they go back to the Monsignor, and he's just going to keep recommending exorcism. He doesn't care what any of them say.
Yeah.
But he still wants them at the exorcism.
Yeah, he's like, well, the three of you will be there to witness it. And Ben's like, we've never had to do that before. Why now?
Right. He said, well, you want skeptical eyes there. I'm like, well, you clearly don't give a shit about skepticism, so what?
Yeah, so why do you want skeptical people there? I mean,
it doesn't make a lot of sense. Get back, Ben's going at home. He has a moment where it feels like he's just constantly watching Leland through Leland's computer. And it looks like it's got to be weird because it's just like Leland's just staring at him.
And there was one time where Leland was just looking out the window and you could see him on the computer. He's just sitting there not moving.
Yeah.
Like, and then he's just sitting there staring into the computer like nothing's happening. Like, it's crazy.
And he just starts laughing. And it's unsettling because he's looking straight into the computer, so it looks like he's looking right at Ben.
Yeah.
You know, that would fuck with me. I'm sorry, I couldn't do that. Like, if I was Ben, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, Ben closes the computer when he does that because I guess it really does unnerve him also.
Yeah, and they leave us with that thought, that terrifying thought of Leland just staring at you and laughing.
Yeah.
And we're kind of doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that last season, and they feel like those last few episodes of the previous season, they dug into that feeling.
Yeah.
And said, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to bring it together. And it seems like in the first episode of the second season, they really brought it together.
Yeah. I think everything comes together when I think about this show and I think about the things I like about this show, this is all the stuff that's here. It's the pop-up books that are very clever and funny.
Yeah.
There's like an irreverence there. It's like a dark, you still get some serious episodes, but I think there was like a lot of actual heaviness in the first season.
Yes.
And like I said, you still get some dark episodes down the road, but it doesn't feel like soul crushing like some others.
Yeah.
There's a vibe. I know there's a vibe. There's some vibes at the end that we'll talk about, but I do like this feeling. It's kind of like it's irreverent, but not. I mean, maybe irreverent's not the best word. We're still taking David seriously.
Yes.
And we can take David seriously because he takes himself seriously.
Yeah.
And he takes his faith seriously, even as he pushes back against the church for the ridiculous things that they are doing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he'll come out and say, I do not agree with everything the church does.
Yes, he does.
You know, and we are getting more of what's actually driving Kristen. What's actually driving Ben. And I think Katja Herbert's performance here, where we're supposed to be buying that something about her, some unknowable, but definitely a thing about her has changed, like very convincing.
Yes.
You
Yes,
know?
it is.
And you're starting to see Ben kind of soften up around the edges a little too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he starts to get a little soft.
He starts to get a little soft, and we'll see. We're starting to see, because I think Leland felt very daunting last season. And this guy's always there. He's always a step ahead of you.
Yes.
And now we're starting to get a sense of like, oh, he's kind of pathetic.
Yeah, he is.
You know.
He really is.
But he's still dangerous. That's the thing about him.
Yeah, that's the worst thing, though.
Yeah.
You know.
You want to laugh at him because he is pathetic, but he's also got, he's got goat friends,
Goat friends.
You don't want to fuck with the goat friends. So, good episode. Good episode all around. I do feel like this is it's a good episode, but it feels very much like a warm-up. Like, we're just getting started here.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good episode too, and I feel like they're just getting warmed up because they're about to run with something.
Yeah.
And they're just letting a little bit out at a time.
Yeah. And I feel like once everything kind of starts, like, I think even in the next episode we'll meet a new character.
Yes.
And the introduction of that character is That's a big one. I mean, it doesn't seem like it when it happens, but you realize looking back that it was a turning point.
Yeah, it was a big turning point.
But you know what? We will talk about that when we talk about that episode next week.
Great character. Though.
Great character, because we will definitely talk about it. I don't have any more thoughts about this episode. Do you?
I do not. It was a great episode. It was a good episode to start a new season off on, and it gives us something to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. You're not disappointed. You come off the last season, and I think a lot of shows do this, where they come off a really good season, and the next season starts, you're like, this isn't what I wanted. But we're not getting that. We're getting like, oh, okay, yeah, they're picking up right where they left off. We're getting right into it.
It was great because they did kind of, they just picked it up and kept going.
Yep.
So it's not like any like, oh, well, how long has it been since she did the killing? I mean, they didn't come back and be like, oh, well, we're still working the LaRue death case. And you're like, okay, well, how long has it been? Like, this one picked right up there, which I felt was great. I felt it makes for a stronger season.
Yeah, it does. Because then you're not like, well, what happened in the time period that we didn't, you know?
Yeah. Are we going to get some kind of a surprise in episode 10? Of something that happened that we didn't see.
Yeah, because like they'll have 6 months pass between the season, but they'll act like, so it was like everybody was just kind of twiddling their thumbs for 6 months. Yeah. We don't get that. And they maintain that tone from the end of the first season. Everything makes sense going forward.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, it does.
So it's a great start. I don't have anything else. So until next week, we'll be talking about episode 2. In the meantime, you check out our other podcasts. Deconstructing the Dark Passenger, which is our podcast about all things Dexter, and our movie podcast, Outside Food and Drink. For February, we're going to be doing Happy Valentine's. We're doing My Bloody Valentine, both of them, and Valentine, just Valentine. And we're going to end with that most frightening Valentine horror movie of all, When Harry Met Sally. Because we're going to be going into March for our tribute to Rob Reiner. So please, join us on any of those. If you don't like Dexter or movies, that's fine too. You can just follow us on our socials. You can yell at us about our position on David's positions about the Catholic Church, or, my annoyance with Ben and his obsession with copper, whatever. Follow us on our socials, drop us an email. And this is all going to be in the show notes, and you can also check out our website. That link will be in the show notes as well, and I'll have even more information. So,
yep.
Till next week with episode 2.
Later.